Today, I'm going to show you how to replace the CIM module and do the required programming on a 2003 and newer Saab 9.3. Let's get into it. Behind me here is my 2003 Saab 9.3, and it has an unfortunate issue I've been dealing with for quite a while. Essentially, the horn doesn't work, and I get random airbag lights. I've tried replacing a few clock springs in the car with known good ones. That unfortunately hasn't fixed my issue. So we're kind of at our worst case scenario here, which is hopefully just replacing the CIM, marrying it, and that'll solve all my issues. If you're watching this video and need to replace your CIM, the most likely reason is because you lost your only key. When you lose your only key with these cars, it does require a new CIM with a matching key, which is why the CIM that I have purchased came with a rather beat up but matching key. In today's video, we will not only be removing and installing a new CIM, but also programming it and then marrying a couple of keys, which I've already shown how to do this in a separate video. First thing we need to do for this repair is get the steering wheel in a position where we can remove the airbag. Now, I've also done a separate video showing how to remove the airbag. It's either one of those things that is incredibly tedious or you can get done in 5 minutes. Kind of just depends on the day. So let's go ahead and try to get this thing off, hopefully easily. What? That is the easiest I have ever gotten this removed. Now, I should have disconnected the battery before pulling this out the rest of the way. You ideally don't want to disconnect the airbag with the battery connected, but oops. So I'm going to do that now since we won't need power for the car until we're ready to, I guess, reinstall the new airbag. So depending on your model year, you might just have the one big connector for the airbag. Mine being an earlier car, I actually do have a couple other connectors, one including a ground that goes on the steering wheel, and another that goes into the side of the steering wheel buttons. So with those removed, our airbag is free, and we can remove the wheel, which is just held on by one big hex bolt. A T50 also works for this. And if you're wondering what steering wheel I have in the car, check out the video in the top corner. This is the best MapTune has to offer. Completely transforms the driving experience. Absolutely love this steering wheel. And now we have our CIM exposed. So this is actually only held on by two big clips, one on the top, one on the bottom. In order for us to access those clips though, I first am going to pull out the steering shaft so that way I have a little bit more room. And then there's this leather cover. Mine is honestly a little bit broken, but it is just held in by clips. You can kind of reach in there and just pull it out. It should be connected to both the CIM and the dashboard. So with that out of the way, like I said, there are two big clips here, one on the bottom and one on the top. And actually, before I do that, there is an electrical connector. It's on this side right here. Very easy to disconnect, and then slides out. Just like that. Ow. Can chew up your fingers pretty easily on that. But there's kind of a good look at those two big clips. You just gotta separate them as they hook onto the steering shaft here. Different year 9.3s have different CIMs and airbags. Mine being an 03 has an earlier style CIM and airbag. I believe the 03 and 04 CIMs are the same, and 05 onward are the same. Definitely check the part numbers before buying a new CIM because you want to make sure it's compatible with your car. So two things you'll notice here. First off, my old CIM has the stalks on it, which we will need to pull out and put into the new CIM. And then also our clock spring here. We need to make sure the clock spring on the new CIM matches the position of the clock spring on the old CIM. On the new CIM, there's this yellow ball in the top right corner that you can see moves as you turn the clock spring. So we essentially just need to make sure it matches with where this one is, which is just about in the center, but then off about 45 degrees, the angle that we removed the steering wheel at. This doesn't need to be 100% perfect. I mean, we can wiggle it around, make sure it lines up with the steering wheel when it goes on. The big thing we need to make sure of is that it's not off by a whole rotation like that, because you will encounter very big problems when you try to turn the wheel, and you'll destroy your clock spring and possibly the whole CIM. You think you're gonna break it, but that's just how they come out. There's a little plastic clip on the CIM. Just clicks in pretty easily. The same for the cruise control stock. All right, let's get this CIM installed. You might be wondering what this is just off the corner of the screen here, and well, if you know, you know. Otherwise, this and some other parts will be for a future video once I get stupid issues like this sorted out on the car. So this is just going to slide over and clip into place like so. So we find our connector. I'm going to leave this leather thing off for now, just in case we need to remove anything for some reason. But it's obviously very simple to put on. You just need to clip it into place. We just got to find that hole. And then this is where I'm talking about, if your plug is misaligned just a little bit, you can adjust it pretty easily, but mine lined up. We will install our T50. I'm not going to snap the airbag back into place for the same reason as before. It can be a pain to get back out, and in case we need to remove anything, I don't want to have to deal with that later. So what we'll do instead is just get it plugged in and kind of resting on the wheel, and then we'll snap it in once we've confirmed everything is good. Now I'm going to go reconnect the battery and we should have power again. So this is our new key that came with the CIM. As soon as I put it in here, you can see I can't turn it, and we get a steering lock malfunction. Make a safe stop, contact Saab dealer. So this is normal. What we need to do is grab our Tech 2, our laptop, and get this thing programmed. We will go to diagnostics, we'll enter the year. This is a 2003, like I mentioned, a sports sedan. And we'll go to all. We'll go to add remove because we will need to add the new modules. So we'll go to control modules and then down to CIM. So we'll hit add. Now you can see we already have a bar here telling us we'll need security access. Okay, so now it's telling us to turn the key to the on position. Great progress. We're now able to turn the key at least. And now it's going to tell us we need security access. So it's telling us to turn the key to the lock position, and now giving us steps on how to get security access. So basically what we need to do is disconnect the Tech 2 from the vehicle, plug the Tech 2 into my computer, which has global TIS on it. So we have the Tech 2 disconnected from the vehicle. We have it hooked up to our computer. So our next step is going to be this security access box here. We will start the download. I've shown how to get security access in other videos before with Tech 2 work, such as how to program new keys, but it is very simple assuming you have all the right equipment. And there is no other way around this. You need to do the Tech 2 programming if you're adding a new CIM. And there's my VIN, and boom, enabled security access type 1. So we just hit finish. That means that we now have security access on the car. So I'm going to disconnect it from the computer. We'll plug it back into the car. And now we should be able to go back through the menus just like we did before. There we go. All right, I was worried it was going to tell me to get security access again. So we now have security access, and we can move on to adding the unit to the car. So we're going to select our model year once again. This happens with a lot of modules. It just asks you some basic information about the car. Mine is unfortunately an automatic. It does not have rain sensors. It does have cruise control. This, I've been told, does not matter too much If you don't know the answer to anything though, it should have the correct choice pre-selected. So I'm just going to go with this. It technically does have OnStar, although never used it, doesn't really do anything. Steering wheel switches, it does have steering wheel controls. So this is important. This is if I had paddle shifters. So my old wheel did have paddle shifters. When I switched to the map tune wheel, because it's an earlier style wheel, I could not retain the paddle shifters. So unfortunately, I have to say without paddle shifters. In the market, US, and we'll hit OK. Now it's confirming my answers were correct, or at least that they make sense. So now it's saying you are about to overwrite key information stored in the ECM, the ECU, with new information stored in the CIM. If you continue, you will lose the key information, the ECM, and you will not be able to reuse any of the old keys belonging to this vehicle. Do you wish to continue? Yes. So we now have to wait 150 seconds, basically to prevent theft of the car. How waiting 2 minutes and 30 seconds will prevent theft, I don't know exactly, but essentially when you get the new CIM, or anytime you replace the CIM in the car, you can't reuse any of your old keys, which really sucks. So that's why I bought a new key from Saab parts. My old CIM has 3 keys, which is great. This one will have 2. It has obviously the one existing and the one that will program here when this is done. But I'm just gonna sit tight for another 2 minutes. The CIM has keys programmed to it. Woohoo! All previously functioning keys are still operational. Key programming is only necessary if new keys are added. In case, have all vehicle keys at hand before proceeding. So we want to program all keys, so I guess I can just do it right here. Turn key to the lock position. Insert a valid key into the ignition lock. So I'll just remove it and then I guess reinstall it. We'll press OK to continue. One key successfully programmed. Do you wish to program another? Yes. So we'll insert our next key, our new one. Again, you cannot reuse keys, so do not try to. I'm going to press OK, and it's going to add my new key from Saab. 2 keys successfully programmed. We'll take that, so we'll say no, we do not wish to program another. Turn key to the on position. Steering angle sensor calibration. This is extraordinarily important. If steering wheels and wheels do not point straight ahead when calibrating, DTCs for steering angle sensor will set and ESP will be disabled. So we need to make sure the wheels are pointed straight ahead, then make sure the steering wheel is straight as well. So I've now encountered this problem 4 separate times between what you last saw and what I saw. It keeps losing communication with the CIM or T8 or some other module in the car. There's just an issue with my car. I've had this problem before. And eventually, if I do it a bunch of times, I can get it to marry. But at least now it kind of seems to have done this calibration, which means I'm going to have an error. And the steering lock is now unlocked, so I can at least have the wheel straight. But it means that we lost communication and I have to redo the whole process yet again. So I'll catch up with you guys when I eventually figure this out. Okay, so we finally got back to the same spot again. I was able to straighten the wheel. Hopefully we don't encounter any more issues. Oh my gosh, did we do it? Did it not bug out on me? Okay, we've gotten one step further this time. Keep in mind there's like 5 failures in between each one of these clips. Oh, we did it! So now, in theory, I should be able to start the car. Everything's powering on with the new key. Everything up there is correct. I don't actually have a check engine light. The car is just not powered on. And we have no failures outside of a brake light bulb I have out. As you saw, it finished programming. I ended up hooking the battery up to a trickle charger. This was taking so long. Car runs with the new key. So what I'll do now is check for errors. Obviously reclip in the airbag now that we're done. No stability control failure, no traction control failure, so the steering angle sensor calibration went well, but I'll catch up with you guys in a few. Good first sign here. horn seems to be working. Haven't heard that noise in a very long time. Just took the car for a drive. Everything seems to be good. Did a couple key cycles to make sure the horn is still working. So I think that solves that huge issue. So I can finally confidently drive this car, hopefully back to almost daily driver status. I was a little bit sketchy driving it with no horn. Consider checking out both my Patreon and my merchandise, which are linked at the top of the description down below if you want to help support the channel more. Anyways, if you guys enjoyed this video and found it helpful, please give it a thumbs up. I haven't really found any videos out there on YouTube that actually show the Tech 2 process, more so just how to remove it from the car, which is only about half the job. But anyways, thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.